Welcome to the St Partick Day Slam of Dynamite Delight. That was a hard one to say. Was this a good show? Here's the thing. I know everyone's going to say this show was really, really good. And for most part it was. Some good ring segments. Some good moments. The ending was to the point good. But does it help long term? That's what I'm questioning here. Because of what I believe, and I'll explain it at the end of this review. I'm wondering if this is only a short-term gain for AEW. Doesn't mean the show is bad. I'm just wondering, is the payout for this only short-term? And is it going to help long-term? Now, opening of the show. We got Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus the... Here's the thing. I'm still not bought very much with Jurassic Express as the champions. I know they had to win, but I really feel that there need to be more, and there isn't any. Then there's a Hangman Page, who's done fine. It's been alright with him. But I just don't feel something when it comes to Jurassic Express. Maybe it's due to the fact that I truly believe that when it comes to Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus, they shouldn't be a team anymore. Due to the fact that at this point, Luchasaurus should be on his own. And Jack Perry could team up with somebody else. That's what I keep thinking. That Luchasaurus should be already by himself because he's so over with the crowd. Sorry guys, when you see this match, the crowd was really cheering very heavily for Luchasaurus. Yes, they were also cheering for Hangman Page. Yes, definitely cowboy shit was hot. But when you look at Luchasaurus and Adam Cole, because that's the three you got there. You got Adam Cole, Luchasaurus, and the Adam Page. Those guys are the strongest ones in the entire trios match. And I'm not surprised that Adam Cole got the win. I'm not surprised. This is going with the narrative that he can win when it can be done. So I'm not surprised. But still, I'm just saying Luchasaurus should be on his own. Jungle Boy Jack Perry can be teamed up with somebody else. I truly believe it's time to separate the two. When you got someone that's really hot, you don't keep them in a tag team just so the other person looks good. Not saying that Jungle Boy's bad, but you can tell Luchasaurus is more over. I'm just saying. Now, the next match, which was a tag team match of the... what would I call Moxley and Bryan right now? It's kind of hard. You need a tag team name with these guys. And you got one that is destructive and one that is refined. But he's also I can't pronounce the word because I just don't know what to call them. I just don't know what to call these two. That's sadistic, there you go, sadistic, and evil, and they prove every single time how damn good they are. Now, mind you, in the very beginnings of the match, when they went up against Judah and Chuck, they charged at them. That's part of their stick. Being sadistic, being destructive, being the most refined wrestlers there is. You wonder what they are. I just don't know what to call them. Now, I wasn't surprised they won. They had to win. This is just proving how good they are. But there was a very interesting little twist at the end. Because when it was all over and Moxley basically got Yuta to tap out. To the Bulldog choke. He did make him tap out. When it was all over and everyone was going to the back, Yuta stopped. Went back into the ring. Faced him. Got smacked in the face by Regal. And he looked at them and they acknowledged him like tipping a hat. They acknowledged his existence. But they told him, now you've been acknowledged. Get the hell out of the ring. So that's like the first of the new students of the brothers of... I don't know what to call them. They can't be the Brothers of Destruction. I don't know what to call them. They got to be called something. You guys tell me below what you think that Moxley and Bryan should be called, because as it stands with William Regal, they should be called something. And I do like what Regal said, that he said when Revolution came and he smacked them both in the face. He expected them to smack him back. He was hoping to see that fire and sadistic nature and malice nature of them both. I'm just saying. Now, we had the match I was not surprised about. We got Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. I did not expect Wardlow to win, but he looked damn good. He did. I'm not surprised that the Pinnacle came out with Spears as well as for MJF. Spears was a distraction. MJF shoved him and got him hurt. And then eventually he got nailed. Even though Wardlow was able to push off most of them, he basically was no match for top team for the Pinnacle. There was no way. And he gets nailed in the face by the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Now the question is going to be, where do they go from here? Now, of course, anybody's going to say, well, Wardlow's going to go after MJF, but is it over with CM Punk? That's the question. Are we posing here? Is it over with CM Punk and MJF? Is he gone for a little while to take a break after him going through all he's gone through, and Wardlow and MJF is going to have their little feud, and then CM Punk comes back to finish up and do some more work with the MJF? That's going to be questioned. This is all wondering, is this short term or one up? Is this short term? Is this long term? You wonder which one it is, because I don't know which one it is. Is Wardlow going to be short term? Yes, he will get a benefit from getting a rub from MJF. Maybe he'll work a little bit with CM Punk, and he will get his moment, or he won't. I'm just saying. Now, FTR had their moment talking about why they got rid of Telly. And then you got the Young Bucks coming in their faces and pretty much saying they're not much. They're always going to be second best compared to them. So we know eventually these two are going to be dealing with each other. It's going to happen. The question is when. I'm just saying. I can't elaborate any more on it because the question is, what is Telly going to do? Is Telly coming back? Will he work with the Bucks? Will, surprisingly, he'll be back with somebody else? Maybe his daughter Tessa. I'm not saying she will be there in AEW, but you never know what is going to happen. So I'm going to leave it blank because I don't know. Now, we had the Hearties going up against Private Party. I know I'm not going in order. I'm not trying to go in order. Well, actually, I am in order. Okay, was it good to see Matt and Jeff? Yes. Is Jeff still very over? Hell yes, he was. The entire match, people were cheering for Jeff. They were cheering way more than Matt. They were cheering for freaking Jeff. And once he came in, did his business, and most of the match, Matt was the one who dealt with it. And that's good, because they wanted to show and spotlight Jeff. But in the end, Swanton Bomb for the win. He does win. And then Andrade Family Office comes out. I hate Andrade Family Office. They couldn't call it the Andrade brand or something. But it is what it is. And they were ready to try and whoop their ass until Sting and Darby, I always say Darby Allin comes out. I really wanted, this is where I wanted. Yes, Sting and Darby comes out. But I was hoping that when this happened, that moment that Darby was staring down Jeff, that they do it again in the ring. No, they didn't. They were just one right next to the other. Not that once they scared them off, one looked at the other and he could see him looking, and then they look at each other and everyone starts to see that there's something between the two. You don't know what it is. Is it because they are mirror images of each other? That one is a total crazed freak when it comes to the ultimate stunts compared to another one? Is one fanboying over him, or is he thinking him as a potential rival? That's going to be the question, and I kind of wish they would do a little bit more teasing of it, but that's just me, guys. Tell me below. The Jericho Appreciation Society. Was it over? Yes. Was it bad over? That means healing it up. No, not at first. Here's the problem what happened with the Jericho I'm botching this because I was hoping it would be a very clear-cut thing that Chris Jericho would just be plain ass booed all the way through. When his music came, when he was in the ring, and there you go. No. When it comes to the Appreciation Society, they didn't get total boos. So it's not 100% over because as 2.0, which is now no longer 2.0, that one is called Sexy and the other one is called Dynamic or something. I can't remember what it is. The point is, he's trying to get these guys over. And the problem is, when he was explaining what happened with Garcia when he was in a car accident, which he was, and when it came to the guys who used to be 2.0, when they had no job and he did go onto his podcast, that stuff actually happened. And the key of this is that he's trying to get them over, but he's got to do it as a heel, and he can't do it as a heel for the simple reason he's not completely healed out. People don't 100% want to boo Chris Jericho because we all know for a fact he did do that stuff and that he did prove that he carried the company on his back. I say more than 3 months. I say 6 months he carried the company on his back. Not 3, 6. That's just my humble perspective. Not because I love Chris or not. You could see that they did refer to him a lot in those first 6 months. He wasn't just the one that was front and center with that title. He was the one they always referred to when it came to the Inner Circle, when he won the title, when it came to the tag championships, that he was messing around in that situation too, even though he didn't win. You get my point. I'm just saying that. Now, do I believe he'll eventually get over as heels? Yes, they got to do enough. We're going to need Pride and Power. Unfortunately, it can't be called LAX because Impact Wrestling owns the rights to it. Shame. But if they really need the LAX moniker. I wish there could be some way that Impact Wrestling would allow AEW to use the name of the Latin American Exchange. They really need it. They honestly do need it. Because if they were a Latin American Exchange, not saying that Conan should come back, Eddie should be managing them, it just feels it would be better that way, that they went back to the roots and showed how truly great they are as a Latin American Exchange LAX. I'm just saying. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and if I'm forgetting something, I'm sorry. Steel cage match. Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker in Thunder Rosa's hometown of Texas, where she got a all-female martial art. What is it called? I can't pronounce the. I am so bad at names. A Mexican music band. I always forget to call them Macarachi. I don't speak Spanish. But you get my point. They're in my face. I just gotta say that it was fun. Now, I know there's some people who say, oh, this is all women power. This is all about that. Look, there's some people going to say this was the greatest thing that's happened to AEW, having a steel cage and 2 women that did the show at the end and closed it. It was so hot. And it was. The pops were tremendous. And when it came down to it, I'm not saying it was bad. Macarachi. I can't pronounce the word. I hate it. But the point here is this good long term or short term? One of the things that I'm worried about is due to the fact of the ratings, that a lot of people say the ratings don't mean a damn thing. Well, unfortunately, they do. JD says, I don't care about the ratings. It don't matter to me. And I understand his point of view. He's a fan. He cares about it. But as a reviewer and as someone who's a podcaster, he knows deep down ratings to a certain extent still do matter. Even though most of the stuff can be streamed now, the networks are still paying them a huge amount of money to do their business. And even though the numbers have dropped, has fluctuated up and down, has dropped from either maybe 1.1 million down to 8 to 900,000, it has still been fluctuating. And they expect the numbers to stay same or at least increase. If AEW's numbers fluctuate so much, they get a little crazy. And that is the network. Remember, they're on a network. If you say this is old 90s stuff, who cares about networks? Well, guess what? AEW is getting paid maybe 25, 50, or 75 or $100 million to be on Turner. So it does matter to a certain extent. It does. As long as the ratings are pretty damn good, the demographics are good, they're fine, even if they are fluctuating. But you wonder if they did this because of the reaction of the ratings. Now, mind you, they could have done this at Revolution. And I still say this now. You could have gone into Texas and allowed Thunder Rosa to come in as champion. Sometimes you don't always need the person to win in their hometown to get them over big. They could have won at the pay-per-view where she should have, and then went to the town a few days later and see if they can drum up any interest in the hometown of Texas that a Texan native just won the AEW title, and they started drumming up huge amount of interest on media there. That could have actually helped AEW. But they didn't go there. And now, when it comes to this situation, it's over. I mean, it's 10 o'clock. The show is over. TNT switched to another show. For us, we're only going to have to see it either through people on Twitter, on Instagram, or on YouTube when people finally upload, or AEW upload it themselves. And the key here is only a few minutes. What? 10, 20 minutes after the match is over, the people in the arena get to see it. But guess what? We don't. We get to see her for about, what, a minute and a half? Win the title. We saw Dustin Rhodes go into the ring, give her a big hug. I believe I got a shot of it into my face. This is what you get to see. And then it's over for us. But everyone in the arena gets that moment. We do not. We either got to wait until someone shows it on either Twitter, on the Elite YouTube channels, or just the fans upload it so you can see. We don't get that moment at home. They could have made this a 10-minute segment where she could have had her moment, and yes, have another feud, or have the same feud expanded on. This is where sometimes you got to know what's important. Do you want something short-term, or do you want something long-term? The question is, which one is it? I can't be exactly sure. I don't know if this is long-term work. I don't know if this is going to help long-term. It could be reactionary, and it could be a short-term gain for Thunder Rosa and AEW. And I'm not saying they're going to drop the title, but it could have been built better. I'm just saying, even though the crowd was huge, was very loud throughout most of the night, and exploded I don't want to sound hypocritical, because I'm not trying to say she wasn't over, and I wasn't trying to say the crowd didn't go ape shit for her. I am trying to say, what does this give us past this? Does this give us something more going forward? That's what my question is. And I hope you enjoyed the same view. Please give me a comment below. Have a good day. Have a good night. My allergies are killing me. It's making me feel so headachy. Peace.